If you're sitting your civil or criminal litigation central assessment, this video will show you exactly how to study, revise, and approach the papers so that you can pass with confidence. My name is Blessing Mukosha Park. I'm a practicing barrister and the founder of Blessing at the Bar. Firstly, understand the exam. So the first thing you want to do is to really understand the exam. The Bar Standards Board set a central assessment syllabus for both criminal and civil litigation. So each year you get a list of all of the criteria that is examinable on the exam. So every topic, rule, paragraph of commentary, etc. And that's what you need to know in order to meet the minimum 60% pass mark. The key element with these exams is that they're testing your application of procedural knowledge and not just your ability to memory recall. It's not the same thing as cramming and stuffing your brain with facts. You really need to understand the process of litigation in order to properly deal with the questions. In terms of the structure, civil gets 2 papers. The first one is a closed book exam with 2 hours and about 50 multiple choice questions. The second paper is an open book exam that lasts 2.5 hours with 40 multiple choice questions and is based around practical scenarios. I recommend our Blessing at the Bar Litigation Syllabus Study Bundle. This contains our best-selling syllabus tracking spreadsheets and our syllabus notes for both civil and criminal litigation. They will help you navigate the syllabus, know your progress with each and every topic and rule, and also provide you with revision material that you can use to test your knowledge and feel confident before you sit the exams. And all of the products in the bundle are directly tied to the BSB syllabus, so you're not wasting your time on anything that's not examinable. The second thing you're going to want to do is to plan your revision strategy. So structure your study around the syllabus. As I've already said, if you use the syllabus tracking spreadsheet we have on Blessing at the Bar, you can navigate the syllabus and take it by section, subtopic, and rule. And you can track your progress and identify areas that you're weak. It's really important for you to do that because if you can troubleshoot, you can focus on the areas that you maybe consistently struggle with understanding the process, or you struggle with answering questions on that area. If you're able to identify where you need work and where you need to get stronger, you're not going to waste time covering material you already know. In terms of tackling your weak areas, try and work on them constantly. I recommend, for example, if you're on a train or you're taking a short work break, then you can consult your revision notes and you can basically test yourself and see if you remember the process. Flashcards are really good as well for this kind of thing. And I'd really encourage a balance between practice questions and consolidation time. So when I was studying, I would use my spreadsheet. I would find out the areas that I'm weak and I would clarify everything that I've already covered. And then what I would do is target my weak areas. So let's say I'm on the tube, I will be practicing my flashcards or reviewing my revision notes, talking aloud to myself or explaining what's going on to other people. I would go on walks and record voice memos of me talking myself through the process, and then I would review that and see what I got correct and where I got stuck and what I need to work on. So having this type of hybrid approach where I did questions, so I did my practice questions, but I also took the time to really try and practice understanding that material over and over again. That was key to me being able to strengthen up my weak areas and actually end up performing in the exam. Speaking of the exam, you're going to want to have some strategy in the exam itself. So first of all, manage your time per question. You've got a limited amount of time during the exam. So what you want to do is to give yourself enough time to answer every question, go back to questions that maybe you didn't answer, and then review all of your answers at the end. So each question's going to have its own amount of time that you can spend on it. And don't get stuck. Like I said, if you can't answer a question straight away, flag it, return to it. But what you don't want to do is waste time when you could have been answering 2 or 3 questions on just one question. You don't need 100% to pass this exam. So to a degree, you can afford for some questions to just not be your best. Pay attention to what the question says. As we know, with civil litigation, words like must and may can entirely change the meaning and effect of a rule. So if the court's got a mandatory requirement that it has to follow, the rule will be expressed as a must, a thing that the court must do. So it's key that you're able to read the question carefully and identify the difference between words like must and may, because that will make the difference between whether the court has a discretion or whether it's a mandatory requirement. And also it will help you to remember that where there's a discretion, there's a structure. So when you're revising, you can learn the structures behind how the court exercises their discretion and the different factors that are included. You're never going to remember every single rule, but if you read carefully and you apply what you do know logically, you'll score much higher than you expect. And make sure that you are, if you need to highlight, underline, or do whatever you need to do in the exam to focus on the keyword. The next thing is to manage your mindset and your stress. So staying calm and consistent is key. And you need to start managing your stress and having methods to manage your stress weeks in advance of the exams. So tips that I have that I used and worked for me. I used Forest app. That was an app I used to study using the Pomodoro technique. I've done some short videos that you can see on what the Pomodoro technique is and how I used it. But in a nutshell, I would focus for 20 minutes on, then 20 minutes off, and I would use that app to help me grow a digital tree and stay focused during my Pomodoro cycles. It helped me to be productive and also dealt with the reality that I'm going through a lot of dense material and I'm going to need to give myself time and a bit of a structure to drill through and get through all of it. I also used Rescue Remedy, which is a natural herbal formula that helped me to calm some of the physical symptoms of feeling very stressed and anxious before and during the exams. And I also worked my hardest to have a good sleep routine so that I was well rested, because even if you end up staying up all night the night before the exam, your body's had a lot of rest over time. Try your best to build routines to deal with the intensity of the season. So small, consistent effort definitely beats panic revising. Have a system, have a study routine, have, a approach, a method you have to every day. So have a structure to your study days. Have a method that you use to approach your revision. Don't just chaotically stuff it all into your last few weeks before the exam, because that's just not going to be healthy for you and you're not going to do your best work. If you're preparing for your civil central assessments, as well as the resources in the litigation study bundle, you also have the civil litigation study workshops. These are workshops dealing with the core issues and areas on the litigation syllabus, and you can find all of those on the Blessing at the Bar Learning Hub at learn.blessingatthebar.com. They're all available on demand. You can leave questions in the discussion threads to every workshop, and you will be able to access all of the additional and extra resources that are provided with each on-demand workshop. It is possible to pass the exam, and it is possible to feel confident whilst doing so, believe me. In this video, I've put together some tips and referenced some resources that will hopefully allow you to take a structured approach to your revision and the exams themselves. If you would like any further resources, then make sure that you head to blessingatthebar.com, where we have a full range of digital resources and tools that are there to assist you at every stage of your legal career journey. If there's anything you'd like for me to cover to assist you with your legal career or legal journey, then make sure that you leave a comment at the end and let me know. If you're not subscribed to the Blessing at the Bar mailing list, you're not only missing out on exclusive discounts, updates, and resources, but you're also missing out on our monthly newsletter Practice Notes, which is designed to make the intensity of pursuing a legal career a little bit easier to manage, with one idea, one tool, and one move that you can use and implement straight away to see benefits to your mindset and workflow as you pursue and manage your legal career. The very best of luck to you if you're sitting your exams. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want more tips and advice for managing the litigation assessments, then make sure that you head to blog.blessingatthebar.com, where we've got all of our content and resources, or you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or right here on YouTube for more content and resources to hopefully make your process of pursuing the bar a little bit easier for you to manage. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if there's anything that you thought when you were watching that you'd like to be answered in the comments. And I will see you in the next video.